To make things short, I love this game. The only issue that I have with Mortal Shell is that I want more. Hello guys, this is Genuine Gaming and here is my Mortal Shell plus the Virtuous Cycle DLC review. What is Mortal Shell? Mortal Shell is a Souls-like light action RPG game focused much on melee combat, where players controls 1 out of 4 different shells or so-called class in other RPG games. At the onset, players of Dark Souls would recognize the game as it is pretty much influenced by it. At the start, you start as a humanoid, fleshless character called Foundling. Later on, you would find so-called shells. The shells serve as your class in the game. I like the idea of shells wherein you have to look and fight hard for them. Every shell has characteristics and they also have its own respective background story. You can encounter 4 different shells in the game and every shell has its own playstyle. One shell is pretty balanced. One has high stamina but low on health, somewhat like a glass cannon. Another has high vitality but low on stamina, a tank class of the game. And lastly, one has high resolve, somewhat like mana points, which you need to perform special moves on your weapons. I like pretty much the concept of the game. With it, they added something new to the table, that is, the Harden system. It serves somewhat like a block system. However, the difference is that you can activate it anytime. You can also activate it midway as you swing your weapon. It makes you stop for a bit and continues the swing, which can give you a lot of tactical use. Another thing that I see as a unique in this game is that it has no leveling system. However, you can improve your shells by giving them some passive buffs, but it never improves your vitality, stamina, resolve, or damage. I think this is a good idea as it keeps the balance of the game. So if you think that Mortal Shell will be easier as the game progresses, it will never be. The combat of the game is pretty decent. It is smooth and responsive, although you would notice some bugs here and there. It is not game-breaking. If you ask me if the game is difficult, of course it is. What can you expect from a Souls-like game? Expect a lot of beatdowns. And like most Souls-like games, they are pretty rewarding when you come victorious after a fight. I want more. The main issue I have with the game is that it is so small. The game has few weapon types, few shells, few dungeons, etc. However, you will not notice it at first because of the many enemy types in the game. Another thing that this game lacks is the class tree system. The class tree system is so simple and few. I would have wanted more active abilities to give a lot of possible combos in combat. But it is what it is. A small game that could have been more. I think this is where the Mortal Shell the Virtuous Cycle DLC comes in to address this issue. It added another shell and another weapon. And if you haven't had enough beatdown of the game, the Virtuous Cycle DLC will give you a roguelike mode. If you play the roguelike mode of the game, you would also earn another passive buffs aside from your class tree. I got the Virtuous Cycle DLC for free when I bought the Mortal Shell. I would recommend buying it if you want more of Mortal Shell. Even if I have the DLC, I still feel I want more of Mortal Shell. My genuine verdict. There are a lot of things that I love about Mortal Shell. I love the graphics, I love the mysterious story behind it, and I even love the sound which helps you recognize if there are enemies approaching you by listening to footsteps or enemy attacks. Another thing to note about the game is that it has no map or mini-maps. You have to navigate on your own by remembering landmarks. It does not have an in-game guides, which makes it more challenging of a game. Of course, if you have difficulty finding some locations, the internet is pretty much available, and it is so easy to memorize the map because it's so small. All in all, I love this game. The only issue that I have with Mortal Shell is that I want more. Hence, I would rate Mortal Shell with Virtuous Cycle DLC as an 8 out of 10. I would recommend this game, but with a caveat. You would want more. If Cold Symmetry would see this review, Cold Symmetry, I want more. If this video is helpful, leave a like or let me know in the comment below. For more PC game reviews and tips, subscribe to my channel. And do not forget to click that bell button to always get notified every time I upload a video. See you in the next video. Ciao!